166-run lead in a test match that threatens to be curtailed by rain is going to be a massive, massive one. But a lot of the blame, yes, South Africa batted well, but a lot of questions have to be asked of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. I'll go over to Sourav on that.
I'm not too disappointed with Mahendra Singh Dhoni not taking the new ball, to be honest, because his best bowler was Ravindra Jadeja, who looked like picking a wicket. Also, he knew that South Africa were ahead of him in the game, and he didn't want the game to slip away. See, with all the rain being in Durban, Dhoni also had the back of his mind that there would be rain delays and the game could be shortened, and he knew that he would get into a situation what he's here. So I don't think I should be blaming Mahendra Singh Dhoni for what he's done. Because with the way Ravindra Jadeja has bowled, he wanted to control the game. So I think he's fine with the way he's gone about, and now the situation India is in at this stage, India will have to bat really, really well to save this test match.
And it certainly put India onto the back foot. Let's go across to Rasesh Mandani as well. Rasesh, what's the update on the weather front? Can we expect more rain interruptions today and tomorrow?
That's right, Siddharth. There are about 40 overs that India is supposed to bat today, but it's highly unlikely that India will get to bat all of them. We've seen, rain interrupted third session through the course of this test match, and the forecast today is no different. We haven't seen the sun come out prominently. Day 5 is also going to be rain interrupted. So, that's the comforting part for India, that the rain can also be a factor in this game. But, the question would still remain, if India did press the initiative enough. To be honest, both the teams perhaps, preferred the safety first tactics, and it's not surprising that draw seems at this point in time the most likely result.
All right, fair point raised by Rasesh as well. Does Boria agree? And the fact is, Boria, that India find themselves under pressure right now, and a lot of questions. All right, Dada wants to come in. Let me go across to Sourav first up before I go to Boria.
Yeah, I don't agree with what Rashesh has said, that both the teams have played safe. I think South Africa has played themselves into a very good position in this test match. They batted brilliantly this morning. If they lost a few wickets this morning, they would not have got to 500. And they needed to get to 500 to put India under pressure. There's still 40 overs left today, 90 overs tomorrow. That's 130 overs. So I think South Africa has got them into a good position, because even if they get India out for 90 overs, the way India has batted in this series at the pace which they have batted, especially on the fourth day pitch, India would not score more than 2.5 runs and over. If they score more than 2.5 runs and over, they'll finish with 210, 220, and that leaves South Africa with about 50-60 runs to win this test match. So I think South Africa has put them into a good position. Yes, weather intervening, they are in a good position to win this test match if they bowl well. As I said, India on the other hand have to bat really, really well to get out of this test match. It's like South Africa being in a similar situation in Wanderers, and that was a better batting surface than what is going to be at Durban today and tomorrow. The uneven bounce, the short pitch deliveries will not get up, and if South Africa can get past Virat Kohli and Cheteshwar Pujara, it will be immense pressure on this Indian batting lineup. So the game is still on, it's not over yet. And I think South Africa have played well today. They've showed a lot of character through Callis, through Steyn, through Philander, and more so Peterson, who got a 60 of 40 or 50 deliveries. So I think South Africa have got them into a good position in this test match.
Fair point, Dada, and that means that the pressure, as Dada pointed out, is on the Indian batting lineup, Boria.
Oh, there's no question. You call it the biggest test. This is the biggest test. I tend to agree with Sourav and disagree on one point. The agreement part is, this is a huge match. I mean, if anybody thinks the draw is likely, Rashesh is giving the Indian batting lineup a lot of credit there. You've got 6 batsmen. From Dhoni onwards, it's a rollover from what we've seen in overseas conditions. Dhoni, Ravindra Jadeja, Zahir Khan, Ishant Sharma and Mohammad Shami, they wouldn't even last half an hour if there is pressure from Dale Steyn and some of the others. So, you've got 6 batsmen to go through, and Cheteshwar Pujara and Virat Kohli are the 2 big ones. Rohit Sharma, if he starts failing, he consistently fails. And that's a real big worry for India. So 166 is a huge lead. And the way Dale Steyn has started, look, everybody will get a crack today. And they will come steaming in. They'll be all pumped up. It's the farewell test match for Jacques Kallis. South Africa will give it their everything to pummel the Indians with short pitch stuff. Sourav said he didn't sort of fault the Mahendra Singh Dhoni too much. India was 315 for 5. South Africa went for the kill 334, bundled out. 299 for 5. Did we leak too many runs too easy? I think we did. If you don't have faith in your new ball bowlers, then you've made a mistake by not playing 2 spin spinners. You've got to be decisive. Yes, we are talking at the end of day 3, but the fact is, what is your strength? Sourav earlier in the past has won with 2 spinners, and here you continued 140 overs with 2 spinners, going in with the older ball. Ravindra Jadeja was bowling well. What is the point? I mean, 299 for 5, you go on the defensive, you let South Africa off the hook. You've got to be asked questions of.
That's a fair point that Boria is raising, Dada, because the fact is that it's overcast conditions with a new ball, with 2 batsmen who have to get set again, because it's a fresh start, as you keep talking about, that they have to get set all over again. With the ball doing a bit under a cloudy sky, India could have had a better chance, don't you agree? And otherwise, then Dhoni's misread the conditions, because he should have played 2 spinners.
Yeah, I think he should have played 2 spinners straight away, and he must remember this. He must learn from this test match, that every time India goes abroad and there's a flat track or a bit of a dry track, just close your eyes and place 2 spinners, because your spinners will always be a lot more effective than your quicks on flat batting pitches. Not many teams in the world have this luxury of having 2 quality spinners. And if you look at South Africa on this track, they even went with a half a spinner in Robin Peterson. So he's got to keep that in mind. I'm sure he'll learn from this test match, and he's got to learn quickly, because he's already captained more than 50 test matches against India, and he's going to face similar situations in the future. And coming to the second point, the question of a new ball, I don't think the new ball has done much in these conditions, to be honest with that. Let's not be too tough on Dhoni. As I said, I agree that he should have been a lot more positive with his field placements yesterday, especially when Callis and De Villiers were under pressure and they had come at 113 for 3. But in terms of this new ball, I think he was banking on Ravindra Jadeja to get past him. There's still a bit of reverse swing, but it didn't happen for Ravindra Jadeja that he got wickets. So sometimes it doesn't go your way. And even when he took the new ball later, he went for a lot of runs very, very quickly from Kevin Peterson and Faf du Plessis. So you've got to understand from his point of view as well. But I think the mistake he made was he didn't attack enough when South Africa were 113 for 3 yesterday.
All right, fair point. And one man who's ensured that South Africa find themselves in a situation where they are in command of this test match is Jacques Kallis. And he's once again proved with that fighting 100 where he was batting in his bubble right through, that when it comes to actually deciding the course of a test match, there's no one better than Jacques Kallis, especially if South Africa needs its batsmen to bail them out.
The veteran became the 4th South African batsman to score a century in the last match of the career. Kallis also went past India's Rahul Dravid in the all-time list of test run scorers, thereby etching his name in the annals of test cricket. A South African victory would make it a perfect farewell